Hello ladies and gentlemen, and today we are going to be making a command that lets you manage the activity or presence that your bot is showing. So without further ado, let's get straight into it, because I can't wait. So we are going to be making the schema first. So make a new file called botPresence.js. And then we're going to be starting by typing const model and schema require. You can type mongoose. We create the schema. And we define a few variables, mainly the client ID as a string and presences as an array. Then make sure to set the option strict as false. And we export using model, and this lets us save it to the database. And if you're wondering what auto-completion I'm using, I am currently using, if I can find that, I am using GitHub Copilot. This is a paid extension that is, I believe, $10 a month. But you can get tab 9, which works for free for a certain period. And then I use the freer code formatter as my way of formatting the code to make it look pretty. Anyways, now that we have our schema, we can go ahead and work on the next command, which we are going to have to go to events, and then inside of the ready event, we will go ahead and make a new file called setPresence. We are going to require the activity types, no type, which we require from Discord.js. Then we import the schema, botPresence, don't forget your semicolon, and we'll go ahead and export it with the client as a property. And then we go ahead and do and the reason why we are storing the client ID is because that's what we are going to be using to go ahead and find the schema that we're looking for. And if you want to have your auto completion, just make sure to add a slash and then 2 times the asterisk, and then just type in client and make sure to import client from discord.js, which should give you the auto completion that you are looking for. And this is completely optional. I just like to do it, so I have auto completion, and that results in less work. All right, so we're going to check if there is no bot schema data, and we are going to then wait and create one. We save the client ID, and we go ahead and make a presences array, which is going to have 2 properties, which is going to be activity, which is an array with an object. And actually this is going to be also an object. So activity, name an object, and then status, which is going to be online in this case. And then we need the name, which is going to be make sure to use these backticks because we're going to be using a variable by doing $sign and then these special types of brackets. We do client builds cache dot size, and then we do servers, and then we're going to do the type, which is going to be activity type dot play. So now this is going to save in the database, and we can go ahead and move on with the next part, which is going to be a set interval function. We're going to be setting this at 15,000 seconds. We're going to do the following. We're going to do, once again, find the schema, but we are needing to use await here because this returns a promise, which on its own means this is going to be async. And then we're going to define the presences, probably with a lowercase, as bot schema data presences. Then we're going to grab one presence, which is going to equal the presences, and then math.floor, and we'll grab a random elements, which we do times presences.length. Then we're going to have to set the user.setPresence, and we have to fill in a little thing. So we have activities, which is going to be an array with an object, and the name will be presence activity, and then the first element, which is 0, and then for type, and we do the same thing, but then whoops, with type, and for status we just grab the status from the presence, and that would be our event. So with that now done, we're going to be moving on with the presence command, for which we're going to make a new folder called developers, and we're going to make a new file called presence.js, and we'll go ahead and import a few things from discord.js, namely the completion, the slash command builder, permission flag bits, activity type, and the embed builder. We will also require the bot schema, and we'll go ahead and export an object with init data new slash command builder. We'll do the set name, presence, set description, though I'm going to change that a bit to manage the bot's activity and status. We'll also add it to JSON, and in between we're going to add subcommand, and we don't need an object here. We do set name, going to be add dot set description, add a new presence. Okay, so we are going to have a few options, namely string options. And we'll do the name. And I'll just have to do it like that. We'll do the name, which is going to be the name, the type, and the status. But for the status, we will have a set number of choices. This needs to be an array, right? No, it doesn't. This does not need to be an array. I am not sure if that's going to work. It might, but I'll have to do some looking into that. So we are just going to go ahead and leave it as object.keys and grab every activity type and then map it. No, we should map it to an object. And then we do name as type and then value as type. But it doesn't apparently work like that, so we'll just leave it as is. And then due to me not wanting to take the risk, we're just gonna do it like that. And obviously this is not how it's supposed to go. Thank you, Copilot. Now I have to redo everything. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and we do a name online. There we go. And now it should auto-complete the right way. So we'll have two different options and you can try this for yourself as well, but I will be trying it for the first time and then not for the second time due to the fact that I don't know if it will work or not. And after that, we're also going to add another subcommand. Nope. Being the remove command. And this will remove the last added activity. And we'll add one final subcommand, which is going to be sub.setName. I can spell list. And we'll list everything. Then I'm going to do a run function, but I'm actually going to do it down here. We're going to do async. We'll do client interaction. And obviously I'm going to type annotate this again with like that. Make sure this is chat input command interaction due to the fact that it's a chat input command and not anything else. All right, so we are also going to be adding the user permissions as permission flag bits dot send messages and then bot permissions to be the same. And then we are going to go ahead and do const subs equals direction.options.get subcommand, and we'll get the data from the bot schema like so. Then we'll go ahead and create a switch statement, switching through subs, and then we do a case add. Now, for those of you who do not know what a switch statement is, it will go ahead and look at everything in the value, and if one of the values matches to what is inside here, it will run the code that belongs to it. And if nothing matches, it will just run that. So we have to get the name. The type, as well as the status. And then we're going to go and do if there's no data, which this is not gonna run probably. And we will have the bot create a new schema. So, but for this we have to parse int the type. And then we're gonna go ahead and do an else statement. And we do await bot statuses. No, we do a bot schema dot find one and update. And what we'll do is we'll go ahead and do the client ID of client.user.id. And if I can do this right, we do a push, which is where we push things to the things. We'll do presences, and we'll go ahead and push the activity, the name as name, and the type as parse int type. Then we'll do status, which is status. And I don't know why it does that, but I don't like it. And that should be the else statement. We're just gonna return interaction.reply. Content is going to be backtick with an emoji. This makes a special code block. Successfully added the activity. We'll do it for that one again. Name suitable. I have to go ahead and make this terminal set to trip. I don't like how that does it. I'm just gonna set. It doesn't matter. It'll probably matter, but we'll see. Now we're gonna move on with the remove command, which is gonna be as simple as checking for the data, and if there's anything to remove, and then we're just gonna find it and pop one of the arrays, and then we're just gonna return a simple reply. And you can obviously customize the replies to your liking. I just like to do it this way because it looks pretty. Now for the final command, we'll do case list. And we'll go ahead and do, if there's no data, then we return with a reply. Then we're going to grab the presences inside of an array. And we'll go ahead and create an reply embed. So I'm going to remove that default because it's in the way. And we'll do, wait, no, I don't want that to be the title. We're just gonna do a thing. We use backticks for this. We do, no, a little star. Also, this needs to be like so. Set description. No, we'll do set color to white. We'll do set footer. We'll do text, not name, because that's for author. And we'll do client.user.username activity list. Then we'll do comma icon URL. And we'll do clients.user.display avatar URL and set dynamic to true. Cool, so we've got our embed now. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna define activity type as an array. And we'll do this playing, watching, custom, and competing. We'll do the same for activity status. However, we're just gonna put it in an object, whereas online equals online, idle equals idle, dnd equals do not disturb, and then invisible equals that. So then we're gonna loop through all the presences for each. We take presence and index, and we're going to return something which basically equals our embed.add fields. The name is going to be index +1, and we are going to say presence.activity 0.name. Make sure this is capital for all of the things starting with presence or activity, because that is how we're saving it to the database, and otherwise it will not work. We'll have to do a comma and do value. We'll do the type and then afterwards the status. And after that, we can just return fraction.reply the embeds, though I do not want it to JSON embed, and then make it Fermio true. And that was it. So we can now go ahead and head to the folder, type in cmd, if it will let me. There you go. We'll do code. No, we don't do code dot, we do node dot. However, you can also do notemon, which will make it watch. And I have one or more errors, so I will go ahead and figure them out. And I think I know what it is. I'll be right back. All right, so the solution was to just go ahead and fill in all of these with their respective values. And the object.keys thing was not working, so we had to do it like this. And so we are just going to run this again, and hopefully it all goes well. I am not seeing any errors, which is good. I can remove the console log from there. The bot should restart with no errors. Oops, that is my bad. And alright, we are in here, and you can see the status is showing up like it should be. And we can then go ahead and list all the presences, and it appears we are getting an error instead of the list command data dot. I'm just gonna have to see if it is in here. So it did go ahead and fill this out. So why it's not doing what it's supposed to is a question. Oh, I know why. Because we're not awaiting the bot schema. So that's why you always do that. It will just return undefined. So we can now go back here, type presence list, and you can see it now that we have the index, which is 1, the name of the activity, which is into servers. This will update as necessary. The type is playing and the status is online. And we can go ahead and add something to that list, and we do testing. We do why are we not getting any choices? So we're not having any choices. That is peculiar. All right, let me just copy it from my other part. And this should have restarted. And do we have our options now? No. That is weird. But as you can see, it did actually successfully add it to the array. But unfortunately, due to the fact that this is not currently very good working, it has not done the right lettering, right number, because it did not have a value. And this would indicate something wrong with this, so I'm just gonna go ahead and restart the bot. We do presence add, and we still don't get it. I'm just gonna go ahead and figure this out, and I will be back once I figured it out. Alright, so as it turns out, it was just my Discord kind of tripping, I guess. So let's go over to Discord and test this out some more. Alright, back in Discord, we can go ahead and do presence and we'll try the name, which is testing. We'll do listening and we'll do idle, which will add it to the database. And I am going to have to remove that one. Oh, would have replaced it, I guess, or not. Yes, so we will have to go and delete that from there. And so now we should actually see like this has changed into testing. It is on idle and it is listening too. And if we do presence list again, we can now see the testing is part of the thing. And we do also presence add test 1, 2, 3, 4. We do watching, do not disturb, and we'll press enter, and that will add it to that database as well, which you can see right there. It added a third object, and it should now be able to switch between all of those within 15 seconds. There we go. So now do not disturb, test 1, 2, 3, 4. And yeah, that about sums it up. And we're just gonna also do the remove command, and it will remove the last activity from the bot, which means that we will now go ahead and be back to 2. So, thank you for watching my second video on this channel, and I really do hope you enjoyed this tutorial and learned something from it. And I will catch you all in my next video, which I don't know when it will be. Bye-bye.